There's an interesting sort of question here. We know that there was one theory before the election that if we elected a orange-faced clown fascist and handed control of the federal government to a radical, intransigent, corporate bagman Republican Party, that somehow that would reverse jujitsu benefit the left in America. And one of the ways that that would benefit the left would be that it would clean house in the Democratic Party. Now, it looks like the Democratic Party is in some ways getting it. Keith Ellison's a good pick for DNC chair, and Chuck Schumer has opportunistically come right out to say that Bernie Sanders nailed it. But it's not as if the Democratic Party is having a wholesale makeover. And frankly, if they did have a wholesale makeover just based on the voters they lost, that would be terrifying, because far more Democrats defected to vote for Trump than vote for Green or write somebody else in. So here is Joe Biden talking with Jake Tapper. And Biden is a guy who has not ruled himself out for running in 4 years. I think, frankly, he wouldn't have been my pick. Bernie would have been my pick, but I certainly wish that he had run this time. He would have been certainly a much more formidable general election candidate. But I just want to observe, what does he say here about the future leadership of the Democratic Party? And let's measure if the message is being received.
Who is the leader of the Democratic Party as of January 21st?
Like after every presidential election where the party loses, there is no single leader. There are voices that hopefully be heard. Hopefully I'll be able to have a voice in the direction of the party. The President of the United States will. Obviously Chuck Schumer will. Obviously Nancy Pelosi will. There's going to be governors that are going to emerge. And so it's a contest of ideas as to which direction to take the party. After every single loss, when the political party that loses, they go and they do a retrospective, what happened? Where did we make a mistake? What did we do wrong? That debate is going to ensue, and hopefully the party will grow from it.
Chuck Schumer, liberal from New York City, Brooklyn. Nancy Pelosi, liberal, millionaire from San Francisco. Is there a voice that will represent Scranton in there?
I'm not going anywhere. No, by the way, I'm really not. I think 2018 is going to be a very good year for the Democrats, because now these guys are going to have to say, not generically make America better, here's how I'm going to make America better. Let's have this debate and ideas.
Republicans control the House, they control the Senate, they will control the White House.
But watch when they do it. Watch the response of the public when they do it. I can hardly wait for these debates.
So, ironically, Joe Biden has moved to the accelerationist position, and he can't wait for the other decimation and a horror show that's going to happen in the next couple of years. He could be right about 18, although the map looks terrible for Democrats. But I also noticed, first of all, there isn't much of a change, clearly, in Democratic leadership, because the issue is also just of literally who is on the bench. And then number two, Jake Tapper is talking about Chuck Schumer as a great liberal. If the media narrative in 2016, after everything we have learned from this, for a couple of moments inspiring but overall incredibly disturbing year in politics, the notion that being pro-Wall Street but for marriage equality is sufficient for liberalism and progressivism, that needs to die as a myth. And that's part of the media narrative that needs to change. Joe Biden has a great brand for representing Scranton, and he's done some good things in his career, and he's a likable guy. He's also the one who made horrible offers to Republicans during a grand bargain, and as a senator from Delaware, was essentially a bagman for the credit card industry. I don't know if that really helps people in Scranton.
Hey, it's Sam Seder. Why don't you subscribe to this channel? You can do so right over here. Subscribe.